We are back with more My Southern Home, and I'm here with Damian Pataluna with FischerSips. And Damian, thanks for being on the show with us today.
Thank you for having me back.
So you have a revolutionary product that has really changed the way homeowners and builders are creating homes.
Yeah, well, it's called a structural insulated panel. And what we do is we're laminating two skins of oriented strand board and we're sandwiching a piece of foam. So think of an Oreo cookie. We laminate it together, it's super strong, super energy efficient. We're prefabricating it right here in the factory, which make things go faster on the job site, environmentally friendly, earth friendly, just a really good all-around product to build a new home with.
Damian, does this take the place of framing and insulating a home?
Yes, it does. So essentially, you're not going to build with the 2x4 sticks and studs and fiberglass insulation that you see in all the homes. What our product is going to do is we're going to actually prefabricate it right here in the factory. We're going to put any studs that are necessary in it. The insulation's already in it, the sheathing's already on it. So when the product comes out, it's going to be the entire exterior walls and roof of your house. So the interior framing is still regular stud framing there, but the exterior framing, sheathing, and insulation is already done in one step.
That is incredible. How quickly, or I guess, should I say, what's the difference in building a home with an insulated panel versus using traditional sticks and insulation?
So basically what we have found is it's about twice as fast. You'll save 50% of your time because the framing, the sheathing, and the insulation are already there in one step. You're no longer using the standard traditional studs. We have everything prefabricated right here in the factory, which means we've cut all your windows out, your doors out, they're already bucked out, the angles are all done, and essentially it's ready to go when it gets to the job site, kind of like a big set of Legos.
That's incredible because we've seen houses being built and how long it takes to frame a home and how long it takes to insulate a home. And that's probably a good 10 to 15 days, maybe more, depending on how large of a footprint that you have.
You know, I'll just give you a quick example. I'm actually building a house over here on Eastern Avenue in Louisville. It was 1,780 square foot. Basically, it's contemporary with a clear story style design roof. We had it under roof in 2 days flat, framed, sheathed, and insulated.
That's incredible. It really is. So not only does it save the amount of time it takes to build a home if you're using insulated panels, but there's also extra benefits that come with having this in your home.
Well, absolutely. The SIPs are a quieter product. They keep the ambient noises outside. You're going to have fewer allergens floating through the house because they're very airtight and very comfortable. Your energy bill should be dramatically reduced compared to fiberglass because it's like living in a big styrofoam cooler, quite frankly. And in addition to that, like I said, it's an earth-friendly, sustainable product, so there's just a lot of benefits to it.
So Damian, you mentioned that this product is earth-friendly. So what does that mean as far as insulated panels?
So the SIPs are made with OSB, which is really made from young growth trees. Rather than cutting down all the old growth trees you have in the forest to make the lumber, with the SIPs we're actually using OSBs. So the OSB mills, they replant the trees after they've cut them down to make the OSB. So from that standpoint, and the fact that it's super energy efficient, makes it a very environmentally friendly product, low carbon footprint.
Well, that's wonderful that they plant more trees as they go along, and it sounds like to me you use less lumber as well.
Absolutely. Your total lumber package is probably cut in half or less going with the SIPs. We still use the lumber to connect the panels every 8 feet or 10 feet or maybe even 24 feet, but you're going to use far less lumber in a SIP home than you will in a standard stick frame.
So what's the process of a homeowner or builder using insulated panels?
So you don't have to have your home specifically designed to work with SIPs. We'll take your plans, convert them from stick framing to SIP framing, and then essentially we'll give you a number on that, and you take a look at the number if it works for you. Then we start the process. You put down a deposit. We'll start making the panels and making the product. It takes us right now we're running at about 10 to 12 week lead time from the time you say go to convert your product to a SIP home, actually build that, put it together, have it ready to go, ship to the job site.
I mean, that's not bad.
No, and nowadays, you know, with still coming out of the pandemic, there's a lot of people that are still running behind on a lot of things, and labor shortages are obviously a major factor in every industry, but it's especially big in the construction industry. So yeah, we're really trying to keep up with it as best we can.
So we're in Louisville, Kentucky at your plant here where you make everything.
Yes.
By machines and by hand, and we've got to
Yes.
see both of those today. But you service a pretty large area across the United States.
On a regular basis, we service down into Texas, Florida, up into New York, out west Colorado. I've even shipped homes as far as Arizona, New Mexico, Idaho. I've also shipped homes down in the Bahamas. I've shipped them overseas. So we can really pretty much handle anywhere that you want to go. There are very few restrictions as far as the use of SIPs.
Well, what's interesting about all those states that you mentioned too is they're very different environments as far as, you know, storms and heat and all the different elements that are out there.
You know, in different areas, people will use the SIPs for different reasons. You know, you get down into the Florida, it's because of the storms, they're stronger, they're very energy efficient. You go into the Texas area, you know, it's the air conditioning bills that they're trying to keep low there. You go up north to New England, it's the heating bills that they're trying to keep low in that area. And then in some areas, it's a simple labor thing, because if you can't get enough guys to do the labor, but you have one guy who kind of knows what he's doing, and you get a small crew that's maybe not as experienced as a bunch of framers, they can still get this thing up incredibly fast.
Well, thank you so much, Damian. This was such a pleasure being here and learning more about your product.
Thank you for your time.
We'll be back with more My Southern Home in just a moment.